Live TV. We are joined by Councillor Mike Clarke from the Shire of Yarra Rangers and of course the Yarra Rangers Council. Councillor Mike Clarke, thank you very much for joining us here on Yarra Rangers Live TV.
Pleasure, Patrick. Thanks for inviting me.
Fantastic. Now, of course, Mike, you represent Lyster Ward. If you can share with our viewers out there, what part of the world is Lyster Ward?
Oh, Lyster is one of the most beautiful parts of the entire
They all
state,
say that.
nation, whatever you want to call it. But no, seriously, because it entails the Dandenong Ranges, Belgrave, which is just a booming, fantastic town to visit, and everything around Belgrave, right out to Menzies Creek, which is another beautiful part of the world, and then up to Kallista and across to the, towards Monbulk and the Emerald boundaries, and then back into Lysterfield Valley.
Yes.
And sort of now it's even shifted and grown actually into pushing into Belgrave, so we're an expanding ward.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
Forever getting the boundary lines are changing. I'm hearing that from a lot of people, that the lines change in there.
Our population has somehow plateaued a bit, and others are growing a bit because they're more urban.
Yes.
And so we've had to balance up the numbers a bit. So,
wonderful. And now, how long have you lived in this part of the world, in the Yarra Ranges?
Yeah, look, I've lived in the area for 35 years, Upway for 17 odd, and then Selby for about 20, and then a few more years up at Ferny Creek. And I hail originally from South Africa, but I've always lived there when I arrived in Australia.
Yeah, fantastic. So again, a long history there in the local community.
Yeah, certainly. Had a lot to do with the community. Kids are growing up, built houses in the area, and
so
families growing up.
Leads me to the question: how did you get involved in local, I suppose, Shire representation on local politics?
Well, I think to be frank, what really got me started was starting to work with environmental groups. When we had a house in Selby, built an alternative recycled materials type of house in mud brick, and we had a beautiful acre property, and we just wanted to make sure its environment stayed synonymous with the Minack Reserve near the Selby Community House in that area, and we worked hard to maintain it to be a wild bushland area, and then of course we got more and more active in the environmental groups and land care, and supported everything they do, and just loved working to tidy it up and clean up weeds.
Fantastic.
And things. Yeah, and that sort of got into it more and more, and then I got a bit angry one day when the CFA started lighting up some of the trees and on the edge of the national park, and right across the road from where we lived. So we were very sensitive about the risk to our properties, and that was probably a starting point for me to get involved.
That was a trigger. That was
a real trigger.
Pardon the pun, but that was
Hit
a spark.
The press
that was a spark that really got you going.
Yeah, it was a spark.
So that's the how. I mean, but again, I ask everyone this: why? Out of all the things you can do in life, Mike, why local politics?
Yeah, I don't like to call council local politics. I know most people think of that way. I just think of myself as someone that's there to just serve as a duty, as a help to the community. I'm not trying to play politics to anybody. In fact, I appreciate and enjoy being a fully independent person, not aligned to any political party. So that takes the politics right out of it for me.
Absolutely, yes.
And it's just about representing everybody and all their interests, and supporting their needs, and ensuring council understands the needs and delivers to the best outcomes that can be delivered for them. Yeah. So,
and on that, from a delivering point of view, you've recently been elected in 2016 to represent Lyster Ward. In that time frame over the next 3-4 years, what do you hope to achieve while you're in council?
Yeah, well, frankly, I think the Lyster Ward is crying out for a lot of things to be achieved, and the big ones are roads. They are just enormous. The problems with roads in Lyster is significantly greater than anywhere else in the Yarra Ranges because of the density of population in a very treed and up and down topology, hilly area where the road conditions are atrocious. We've got important connector roads that are still not sealed. In all this time, in the year of 2017, we're still living in the dark ages, and in a period where the public say to me, it's like you're paying, first world rates and living in a third world country. We've got to fix that.
Yes.
So the current storms we've had, the drainage has got weaknesses. Got to fix that. People need paths and access, better access to the area. We need to lift the wonderful growth that we're getting in Belgrave, and tidy up Belgrave and fix it and improve it and make it look better. You know, so there's just a ton of stuff to do, and it's a big uphill struggle. You know, we've got budget restraints.
Of course.
Council's willing to talk about it.
Wonderful. So that's a start, I suppose, and now that you're on board, hopefully we can push a couple of those facility infrastructure improvements and amenity improvements and just the beautification of the area.
Well, that's the point that's really important as well, the beautification. There's a massive community concern about loss of tree cover, loss of trees for all sorts of reasons, and I'm very, very sensitive to that. And you know, sometimes I've probably been, you know, ridiculed for trying to be too compromising on that, because one sometimes have to. But at the end of the day, we've got to protect all our natural environment, trees, and I can say that I've got climate change on my agenda. I'm now part of the Greenhouse Alliance of 9 councils to ensure we move towards a better greenhouse outcome. And I've ditched my car in the process to ride an electric bike and use train and Uber and get around everywhere. Just
fantastic.
On that basis.
So you're right in the forefront of actually minimising your own personal carbon footprint in your role as a councillor here for Yarra Ranges Council.
And I'll give that to you as a scoop, because I haven't made that public.
No, good on you. No, thank you very much. You heard it first here on Yarra Ranges Live TV. I'm Councillor Mike Clarke, ditching a car to be or work towards zero carbon footprint, which is fantastic. And
keeping healthy and you know, demonstrating that, you know, electric vehicles are the way of the future. And leading on to my bus plan for the Dandenongs to bring on a whole new electric bus shuttle service that'll work throughout the Dandenongs, which a lot of the community know about already. But that's a big important commitment I've got to get through.
And that's one of the things I think that's lacking in the Yarra Ranges, and also especially like those niche areas like the Dandenong Ranges and things. Public transport infrastructure that is able to move people around on those regular events and those regular occasions.
Not just events, but just every day going to work.
Every day going to work.
And then the tourist thing is not even catered for in the current bus system. So I've met with Ventura on 3 occasions, and finally the pennies dropped. They've agreed to the outline of my plan, and you know, it's a case of you cannot carry on spending hundreds of millions of dollars on a bus service that no one uses and takes nobody anywhere, you know, other than going on round trips around the countryside. So that has to stop. That is without a doubt. And we have to bring in something totally new. Just completely scrap that bus service.
No, fantastic. Now, I wish you all the best.
So I'm passionate about it.
No, it's a great thing to be passionate about. I remember when the public transport system was upgraded through even Mount Evelyn, where I lived when I was growing up, to all of a sudden have buses running on the weekends was such a big change to our lifestyle and mobility. It was phenomenal. Especially
if you can't drive, or you're not old enough, or you can't physically, or whatever reason, you're completely isolated. And you can't afford taxis because they cost arm and a leg. But it has to improve because the consequences right now are the 2-car families have grown up. And you now got 4-car families because the kids are just busting to get a car as soon as they turn 18. And now we've got traffic problems and parking problems, and it just backfires everywhere. So we've got to fix the heart of the problem.
Good on you. No, thanks, Mike. And look, in closing, I ask everyone this question. It's the nice, warm, fuzzy. Mike, having been a resident in the Yarra Ranges for over 30 years, almost 35 years now, what do you love? What do you love about the Yarra Ranges, this part of the world that we live in?
Oh, look, there's 2 really fundamental things I love, and that's the natural environment and the fantastic community spirit, and the willingness of the community to get involved, do great things, work together, and have wonderful festivals and work together to fix things. Improve the environment as part of that, and putting a lot of time and effort of their own voluntary time. And I absolutely admire everybody that puts in voluntary hours for anything for the community.
Good on you.
That's to me a great thing about our community.
Councillor Mike Clarke, thank you so much for sharing your time, your comments and your thoughts with us here on Yarra Ranges Live TV, and wish you all the best in the coming few years.
Thank you very much, Patrick. Appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you.